Hello students and welcome to Smart Kids Tutorials. In this video, I will be discussing a few tips and tricks to help you to answer your MCQ papers which is coming up soon. So let's quickly go through them. First, always remember knowledge is not, the guessing work is not a substitute for knowledge. Okay, there is nothing like knowledge. If you get that knowledge, you can use it anywhere, apply it anywhere. Okay, so it is important to work hard and study and not depend on guesswork. Okay, but if you do not know how to answer it, you have not covered that part of the portion, there is no harm in guessing because there are no negative markings at all, so might as well give it a try. So when if you're going to give it a try, guess about it, let's apply some strategy in guessing the right one. Chances are that you may get it correct. So in this video, this is what we are going to see, that if it comes to a point where we have to guess a particular question, then how do we guess it as correct as possible. Okay, it's not 100% method or 100% process, but it can get you the most likely outcome. Okay, so let's give it a go. Next, the first rule to remember is always go through your paper. Go through the entire paper. So if there are 4 sheets, go through the 4 sheets. See that if you have 40 marks, you have 40 questions. After you go through it, so you get a good idea about what's there in your paper, what you have to answer. The first thing that you have to do in this case is to make sure you divide it into 3 main parts. Okay, what are those parts? First thing, divide the paper into 3 parts. First part is the easy part. Easy part is where you don't have to think much, you can easily answer them. Give around 15 minutes to that. If you are let's say your paper is now for 1.5 hours, so allot 15 minutes for those questions which you can easily tick mark. So just go through them quickly, tick mark, but you need to be 100% sure that is the answer. So then you keep around 40 minutes for the next set of questions. Okay, to which require a little bit of solving, which will take time for you, but you know you are going to get the answer, but it will take time. Give allot around 40 minutes. So we cover around 40 plus 15, 25 minutes. And the last, keep around 30 minutes for those where you do not know the answer, where you will be doing more of guesswork in terms of getting the solution, where you try this, that, anything that comes your way. Okay, where you do not know the answers, keep around half an hour. And after we apply this 3, that is 15, 40 and 30 minutes, we will still be left with 5 minutes. That 5 minutes I would like you all to go through the entire paper and see if you have missed out any particular question or anything that comes out which you feel that should have been done other way. Just have a look, just keep 5 minutes, okay, prior to this. So don't utilize the entire 1.5 hour just to solve. Keep 5 minutes always for any paper. Okay, so 5 minutes buffer time to go through the paper. Now when you go when we look at the paper, this is how you need to divide the paper into. So quickly go through the paper and solve whatever you want, what you can answer easily. Okay, and when you do that, you also get a chance to, you will always be glancing through other questions as well. You never know, certain questions which may not strike you at that moment may later on come to your mind while you are answering the easier stuff. Okay, the easier question. So this is how our brain works that way. Okay, next rule, let the brain work in the background. What happened is, we come across a question, let's say we have answered all the easy stuff, we come to the second part which we felt first that we could answer it. When we are answering it, we feel that we can't answer, we can't recall that thing, whatever. Don't be stuck at that particular point. So in other words, the first rule and the second rule emphasizes on the fact that don't go by the sequence that is laid down for you by the examiner, that is 1 2 3 4 5. Go as per your convenience, make it easier for your brain to process the thing. Okay, so when you get a particular question where you're stuck, leave that question, go through. Your brain has already read through that question, and your brain will be processing it in the background. Chances are that while you're solving something else, it may just flash across your brain that, okay, this is how I need to solve that one, or this is the answer for that, and then you can come back to that and answer it. Okay, so when we are focused on a particular topic or a question, our brain is focused on that. Okay, but when we are not focused on that particular topic, the topic is being processed by our brain. Okay, so it's in the processing mode, and once, if you have done that, it will get processed and it will come to you at a later stage. So give your brain some time, and while you give the brain some time, don't waste your time trying to think over it and then lose out on the marks which you would otherwise get in solving those which you knew. Okay, so leave it at the side, go further, and then come back later to it. Third point to remember is, which I say is Q square. That means read question twice. Okay, there are chances that when we are well versed with a particular topic, what we tend to do is, like, the moment we look at the start of it, oh, we know, oh, I know the question completely, but that is not the thing. Sometimes we are overconfident, so avoid that. Be confident, but don't be overconfident. Read the question, understand the question, and be sure what you're thinking is in line with what the questioner is, or what the uh, the person who said the question has asked for. Be mindful of the questions which come like this: which of the following is not, mark all answers that apply, which of the following is most correct, all of the above, or none of the above, the choices which involve all of the above, none of. So be sure what the question is asking, not what your eyes are trying to look. Sometimes our eyes deceive us, so be careful and read questions properly, read them twice. Fourth rule to remember is about location. See, when sometimes we tend to forget a particular answer to this, but it is at the tip of our tongue. We do not know how to recall that thing. Try to recall when you had studied it, where you had studied it, any event that had occurred or happened while you were studying that thing, or anything associated with that you can recall. Chances are that you could recalling the moment, the event, the place may help you to recall the answer. Okay, most of the times it is seen that way. A particular event, a particular moment, or a particular place helps you to remember certain things which you otherwise felt that you had forgotten. Next, choosing the longest answer, the fifth. Okay, now sometimes we find we have options, right? A, B, C, and D, and one of the option will be very long. Okay, most of the times it is found that this longish answer is actually the correct answer. Okay, you have to also understand the person who is setting the paper is not going to go to great lengths in giving a very long answer unless that person feels that that is the right answer, and is also trying to give you a hint that this is the right answer and choose this one rather than the other ones which are like extremely short. I'm not saying 100% of the time it will be like that, but most of the time it is seen that the teachers who set the paper and when they have this long answer in choices where others are very short, most of the time the teachers are trying to tell you that, hey, this is the answer, choose this one. Okay. Sixth, eliminate the odd one out. To help you understand this, this is a question that had come in one of the papers, and the question says, the incised papers, the part of the brain that maintains the posture and balance of the body is dash. We have cerebellum, medulla, and spinal cord. If you know something, okay, and of the brain, you should know that the spinal cord is your backbone and it doesn't exist in your brain. Okay, that much brain you should have, that the spinal cord is not part of the brain. Okay, it is separate. The backbone is the spinal cord. So we are asked the question, the part of the brain. So it has got to be one among the three. That we'll see later on which one to choose if you have no clue about which part of the brain it is. But one thing you should be able to eliminate out is the spinal cord, because it does not fit into that. In place of spinal cord, if there was another part of the brain, then of course this does not come into question. But you will always have some such questions where you can easily eliminate the odd one out from there. Look out for those type of questions. 7. True or false. Most of the time in cases where you have true or false choices, most of the time it is seen that the answer is true rather than false as per the research. See, all these points that I am putting forward to, here are widely researched, and after research I have researched and put them together and putting it forward to you, which can help you to uh, um, solve the MCQ. So if you ask me, is this the 100% way to solve? I would say no. I would still say work hard, prepare yourself better. Knowledge is always better than guessing work. But as I said, if it comes to guessing, then worth it having a strategy to answer them. So 56% of the answers when a research was carried out were found to be true, 44% true. So close, very close to each other, almost 50-50%, but most of the time it is true. Why it is true? Because true statements come mostly. We study that something that is mostly true. Okay, so it is very easy to recall a fact, something that is true. And teachers, remember, when they set a paper, most of the time they are setting the paper keeping everybody in mind so that everybody passes. They do not want people to fail. See, we have three categories: people who are students who are excellent, those who are average, and those who are below average. So when a teacher sets the paper, the teacher always tries to look that those below average can pass, then those above average can those who are average can score above average marks. The distinction is mainly carried out for those students who are excellent, so that there can be a distinction between the rank holders, the merit students. Okay, so 1-2 questions or 3-4 questions will be here and there which will be confusing, and see how you can apply your mind and see how much knowledge you have acquired studying. Okay, next. Eighth, all or none. So if you have a choice between all of the above and none of the above, always choose all of the above in the choices, I mean. Okay, if it is all of the above, none of, most of the time the answers will be all of the above. Okay, most of the time. I'm not saying all of the time, but most of the time. And if you have a set of choices where the last choice is all of the above or none of the above, then chances are it was found that 52% of the time the answer was all of the above or none of the above. Okay, now this does not apply for maths, because in maths we are looking to get a solution, so it can't be all of the above or none of the above. At least majority of the time, most of the papers that I've come across do have the option of none of the above or all of the above, but it has never been the correct one. Okay, so leaving maths aside, it can be applied for other subjects. Okay, where if there is a all of the above or none of the above in the choice, you may choose that. Chances are that it could be the correct one, mostly all of the above. Ninth, now in this case, okay, consecutive answers of the same letter are less likely. So what it's trying to say is, here I have an answer key for the recently concluded preparatory exam which came for the first term of science, and here I have answers, the first question, second, third, fourth, all 40 questions, and the answer to them, and the letters, the choices that are. If you carefully have a look, okay, you have B, A, B, A, C, B. None of them are consecutive answers, do not have the same letter key. Okay, but some of them will have, like for example over here 13th, okay, is A, 14th is A, and you also have over here where you have 3 or 4 of them all consecutive same letters, C, 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 C. Okay, but most of the time it will not be consecutive letters. So let's say the first question you've got B and the third question is also B. Chances are that the one in between will not be B. Okay, so just bear in mind, if you have to choose, do not go to choose consecutive answers of the same letter, it will choose some other letter. 10th, last rule to remember, be positive. It has been found that most of the time that the choice B is the most favorite answer, or most favorite choice. Okay, when a person sets a paper, okay, that person wants is giving you the right answer but does not want to give you at the first option, that is A. So most of the time the teacher will set B as the correct option. Even if you have a look over here, okay, this B, so many times B is repeated over here, and I've put down the order in which most likely, if you have to choose between the choices, then first should be your B. If you feel B is not the one, then next should be C. Third last choice will be A, and the last always is going to be D. So if you have a look in this entire answer key also, there's hardly any D over here. There are few places where there are D, but least, if you carry out, if you count the number, how many D choices have come, you'll hardly find any. Most of them are B, then the second most favorite is C, followed by A. So you also follow that same pattern. If you have no clue about which answer to choose, look for B, then go to C, then go to A, then go to D. D should be your last option. And you also have to keep in mind all the 9 that we have discussed so far before choosing. So remember, be positive. Now, we have discussed the 10 golden rules over here of picking the right answer. Something also, in case if you do not know what to do, okay, chances are we have studied something somewhere. So when we look at a particular, it rings a bell, but we do not know what it is. Okay, that's called deja vu. Deja vu means something that we have already seen in the past. Okay, so likelihood is that might be the right answer. So always trust your instinct. If it says no, 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 this is the right answer despite whatever golden rules are there, go for it. Okay, go for it. Most of the time it does work. Preparation is the key. Okay, so despite the fact that we have discussed whatever tips and tricks to answer MCQ question, preparation is very important. You can't just go blankly to an exam. You have to prepare. The more you prepare, the more you practice, the more likely you will come across the scenario. See, the more you practice, the more familiar you are with the type of questions that will come. And it has been seen in more than 90 to 95% of the cases that if you have come across that particular question, chances are you will answer that question and also get it correct. But if you have not come across that question, chances are that you may not get it correct despite all the guessing strategy that you are applying. Okay, so knowledge of the subject matter is always important. Third, guessing strategy beats random guessing. So usually what happens is we just choose randomly. Some I see some students like choose, okay, I'll choose first 3 A, next 3 will be B, next 3 will be C. No, or like go alternate A, B, C, D, or A, B, A, B. No, don't do that. Have a proper guessing strategy. Apply the strategies that I have discussed so far. Okay, they will be better, always are going to be better than the random guessing work that you usually are used to doing. So guessing smartly improves your chances of being correct. Okay, so having said all this thing, one has to remember that we have to study. We have to study, and wherever we feel that we can't answer, this is where we need to apply. So this is not a substitute for the hard work that you need to put in order to score marks, in order to pass, in order to get good grades. Okay, you can apply this strategy fine, but do not use this as your main weapon. Your main weapon is your hard work combined with smart work. Combine both of them and you will be able to succeed in your examination. So I hope this video has been useful to you. Let me know in the comments how you found this video, okay, and whether you found this strategy useful. If you like watching this video, hit the like button, share this with your friends as well as classmates, let them benefit also. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching for more such videos, and all the best for your upcoming examination. Thank you.